We're not going with the crescendo. We're not. We've let it go.
We let this go last week, Tom.
The once upon a time idea has now just dwindled away.
See you later.
Yeah. But what you can see, well, not see, but hear, is the building work across the road. Across my road.
And you can also hear
irritating.
the main road outside my place. Basically, me and Tom are really, really sorry, but we're not in the best recording spots today, are we, Tom? It's not.
We record at night time normally, and I thought it was always because of my working hours, but actually it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because people outside are quiet, and now it's like you
No
can hear
building
the
work.
traffic, you can hear the building work.
No roads.
There's a primary school that's next to my house, and they were singing earlier, and I was like, okay, this is super cute, but also doesn't make for a good podcast.
I was like, shut up.
Exactly, scream outside the window, shut
Hey!
up.
Hey! You're recording in here.
It's not ideal, is it? But we're just gonna roll with it, and have a good time as always.
That's the game plan anyway.
That is
But
a game plan.
How are you, Anya?
I'm okay, Tom. I'm still kind of in embarrassment and shame of what happened to me yesterday. I don't know whether you wanted to jump straight into the I'm an adult butts.
Let's jump straight into it.
Okay, so yesterday...
There's a delay.
There is a delay. You're waving. I'll wave back.
Yeah, I was waving to you to say stop. There's a delay.
Yeah, and then that came through.
Do you want me to
I think it's
leave
caught up.
the clean feed?
No, it's caught up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we're fine then.
Yeah. Shall I start that again?
Okay, let's jump straight into your embarrassing I'm an adult butt for this week.
So, yesterday I was walking through London Bridge Station and I was a bit
Very nice.
peckish and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go to Costa. Not sponsored, but love to be sponsored.
Oh.
And I'm going to pick up a few things, a little treat. So I got myself a sandwich and a packet of crisps and I got
Nice.
myself a hot chocolate and I was like, this is
Nice.
lovely. And I was leaving the shop and I was just like, when you're putting something in your pocket, but you've also got to like carry 3 things and you're like, that's how I felt. And you're like, trying to juggle and just a little stretch.
Is that Jesse
you know what I mean?
Nelson's Jamaican accent?
No, but if
What a
you want
timely
to be,
reference.
then. And I dropped the hot chocolate
Mm.
all over the station floor in front of everyone. It literally went completely down my front. I was wearing white trainers, and it went all over my trainers. I need to wash my trainers today. I just haven't had a chance. Like, when you just can't really face it yet.
Yeah.
I was also on my way into work, so that's great. When
So you hadn't even started your day.
so I hadn't even really started my day. This was like my lunch, and I was like going into work, and I was like, I'll treat myself because I've got a tough shift coming up. I'll have a spot of lunch now, and then I'll go in. And it was just the most embarrassing thing. And obviously, it's central London. It's central London, so it's just super busy, and it's embarrassing for one to drop like a hot drink down yourself, but literally in central London, when in a station, and everyone just looks at you and doesn't know whether to laugh, cringe,
that was
cry
obviously
for
it was
you.
busy, so people were
And I was
looking at
just
you.
like, this is so embarrassing, and I just didn't know what to do. I literally looked down and I was like,
Guess I'm going home today.
yeah, it was not good.
Not making it into work.
But I was the good person, right? And I think in that situation, a lot of people, you have this moment where you're like, okay, I can either like not look back, keep walking, just like not deal with it, just walk. And like, because there's so many people coming and going, like the people that saw the incident happen would be long gone in 2 minutes by the time I get out of that station. So, those people that see me walking out might be onlookers going, what a little beep. for like leaving it for someone else to deal with. But 2 minutes later it'd be fine, no one would know. Or you could be the good person, and although it's really embarrassing and more people are going to see your mess, you go back into the coffee shop, ask for some napkins, go outside and mop it up in front of everyone. And I chose to be that good person, even though it embarrassed me a little bit more because, I'm stood in the station with a blue roll cleaning up this like brown puddle on the floor.
What I might have done is gone to someone who works at the station and go, oh, someone's dropped their hot chocolate.
But it was all down me, Tom. I was clearly the culprit.
Someone spilled their hot chocolate all over me and on the floor over there.
And plus, like, I hate being that person, like, when you drop something and it's like, it's not your job to clear it up because it's not in your establishment. Like, if you're like in a restaurant and you smash a glass, they don't expect you to clean it up. And it's the same when you're in a train station. It's not my job to go into the utilities cupboard and pull out a mop and bucket, is it? They're not going to force.
Don't worry, guys, I've got this one. It's on me.
Exactly. So, yeah, I kind of feel like really awkward doing that because then it's like, oh, by the way, I've spilt my coffee. Can you clear it up, please? Like, I hate being that person. Oh, it's just not a good situation.
So after we brunched on the weekend, me and Dobson were walking to Liverpool Street Station, a very busy London train station.
Dobson is our
the co-host
friend and the co-host of
Urge to Splurge.
Yeah,
Thanks for the plug. And we were walking through Liverpool Street Station, and by the ticket machine, there's just a girl throwing up everywhere. Just throwing up everywhere.
I've been there though,
I've not been there.
Have you never thrown up outside somewhere?
Not inside of a train station.
Oh, right. I've done it on a train, but we all know that. We know this already.
Because you need better bags and paper.
Yeah.
But this girl's just absolutely chundering everywhere in this.
Did she have friends around her?
We don't know. And then a girl walked up to just a worker at the train station and said, excuse me, there's a girl over there throwing up. And I turned to Dobson and was like, do you think she's ratted her out? Or do you think she's a friend? We go, I don't know. We go through the ticket, we go through the, what's it called? The
ticket barriers.
The barriers, thank you. And the girl follows us who ratted on her. We're like, oh, she was just a snitch. She wasn't looking out for us. She was just going, there's a girl over there had been in an absolute state. You should probably check that out. We were very disappointed that she ratted her out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No camaraderie in the world anymore, Anya.
Maybe she just wanted, like, because if you're that ill, right, you should probably seek medical help.
No, if I've had a night out and I'm bevved up and I throw up, I don't want to be ratted out by TFL.
I mean, what does TFL
Sir,
do
you
in
clearly
that
can't be
situation?
here.
Like, what do they do?
Usher me on.
Yeah.
Bleep off.
Oh, it's
That's what they'll
tough,
say to
isn't
me.
it? It's tough.
And I'll go, but I was having Prosecco and pizza. That's why it would go awfully. And then they'd tell me, sir, you can't throw up here. And I go, well, where can I throw up then? Be absolutely livid. But that is an embarrassing story that you dropped your hot chocolate all down yourself. Did people mention it at work?
No, because I got straight into work and went straight to the toilets and I had to take my trainers off and run them under the tap and like try. That's
fine.
There are
worse things you could have taken off.
Yeah, it's true. And I basically just spent a good 10 minutes in the toilet just trying to wipe as much hot chocolate off of me as possible. Luckily, everything else I was wearing was black. I was just wearing white trainers. It literally had looked like I had gotten muddy water and poured it all over them. Like, they might as well have been brown trainers. Ugh, so annoying. They're new trainers, Tom. Anyway, I'll stop whinging. But it was just one of those moments where you're like, what did I do today? What did I do that I deserve that, you know?
I
didn't deserve that karma.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Anyway, Tom.
So,
what have you done in your life?
Oh, where do I start? So, I went and got bevved the other day. Shocker.
And bevved means, for people that aren't
I got
British,
very, very drunk. And, well, you know when you come in from a night out and it's like, let's say 2 a.m. and you're creeping around downstairs and you're putting food in the microwave and stopping it like at 1 second so it doesn't beep and wake everyone else up in the house. Mm-hmm. And you're on your tiptoes and no one knows you're there. Everyone thinks you got in at a sensible time. You're in your head, you're being all like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. You're being so sleek. You're like, crawling up the stairs so no one hears you creak. In my head, no one knew I got in at 2 a.m. People might have thought I was in at 12 or a reasonable time. Wasn't. But now I am. At home, with food, dead quiet. Take off my trousers. My keys fall out. Okay, that's fine. Accidentally step back on the keys. In our house, we've got a security alarm. And you got this little fob that turns on the alarm and off the alarm. And an SOS button. So if someone's already broken in and the alarm hasn't picked up, you press that and the alarms go off and scare or whatever. Step back, step on the button. House now going... Everyone's running downstairs. I'm like, I don't know. There's me just in my box going, I don't know what's going on. It's like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. Did you press the button? I don't think so. Because I don't know. All I know is I stepped on the keys. So then there was like a 5-minute panic of, is there anyone in the house? Why is Tom such a state? Should we just kick him out? All very valid options.
Tom.
And I'm just there, I'm like, you know when you're drunk, you got a hazy head and you don't really want these loud noises going around and there's just alarms. You're like, I don't want this anymore. Trousers down by your ankles. You're just like, oh, I don't know what to do.
What did you do? Just stand there like, what
I
is
just
going on?
let my parents
Rabbit
be
in
the
the
adults.
headlights.
Rabbits did what they did. No, the adults did what they did and turned the alarm off. Searched the house. It was fine. Everyone went back to bed and I went, okay, that's
Did
probably
you get told off?
worst that could have happened. Oh, of course, because I got in at 2 a.m. and woke everyone up. That's awful. However, my argument is, why is there an SOS button on the keys?
Yeah.
Absurd.
Weird. Very strange.
Absurd. If they've got through the security alarm without setting it off, they can steal whatever they want, in my mind.
True. Very true.
It's out of my control. But, yes, I'm an adult, but I woke everyone up in the house by being drunk whilst I thought I was being very, very quiet.
Oh, Tom, we've all been there. Don't worry. Yeah.
I was so embarrassed.
You can't be an adult all the time.
But it was just the fact that I was also there, trousers round by my ankles because I was trying to get undressed. And everyone's running around and me in my boxers can't really walk anywhere because my legs are essentially tied together through my jeans. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So, yeah. I'm an adult, but I'm actually not. Is the end of that.
I feel that. So, Tom, today we're talking about how to say no to people because there is great power, I believe, behind the word no and being able to say no, but being able to achieve saying no to people.
To be able to achieve no is so hard.
It's so hard, but why is it so hard when it's literally one syllable, 2 letters and 1 word? No. It's so easy to say, but so hard to execute it. Do you know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah, when you're saying yes, but then everything in your head's going, why are you saying yes, you dumb? You're like going, absolutely, I'd love to go to your cat's bar mitzvah. You're like, no, Tom, no. But you say yes because it's like, I just, everything to save face. I don't want confrontation.
Yeah. I also think, so I was doing a little bit of research behind the psychology of it. And apparently we all have like this inner chimp, which is, our like... Is
it the whole monkey brain thing?
The monkey brain thing. So we all have this like inner chimp, which was great for back in the past, because when we were like cave people, when we first came about, like our 3 main things that we had to like try and execute were getting food, having sex, because you need to mate and make more of you so that you survive, and running away from danger or like fighting danger. So, your reaction to danger. And apparently saying yes is your inner chimp, but saying no is your inner human. So saying no is like the more rational, more mature, more intelligent chimp. But the saying yes is your impulsive side. So that's the chimp going like, yes, I'll go. Yes. And the chimp part of your brain is more powerful because that's your like innate reaction. That's how we're built. That's our like nature. That's our innate reaction. But then we've got this like more sensible side of us that actually weighs up the importance of it. It's just a little bit more refined, a little bit more intelligent. But that side of it is quieter, because that side of our brain is more of a kind of like modern, recent. You know what I mean?
We'll take modern.
So it's not as it hasn't been innately built into us for years and years and years. We didn't start with that part of our brain. It's kind of been curated over the years, over the centuries. So that side of our brain is a lot quieter than our chimp. So we're kind of battling these two sides of our brains, like the yes and the no. It's kind of like the angel and devil scenario, but the chimp and the human scenario. And it's very hard to talk over the chimp. Like, you can imagine like how loud a chimp is, the like awful noises it makes. And I think that's what your brain is doing. It's like that like kind of squawking, and it's really hard to like squash it sometimes.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I say yes to pretty much everything. That's my biggest issue. And it's not even like a FOMO thing. I don't care if I miss out on one night out. I think my big issue is if I say no to one thing, I won't get invited to the next thing. Just because I don't want to do it 1 week. Yeah. People might be like, oh, he doesn't want to do it a second week. And then it's like, oh, well, now I'm out of routine. Now I'm out of the circle. Now I'm out of the group chats. So it's like, I don't mind missing out on, oh, Tom, you missed the greatest night out last night. I was like, that's fine. I'm sure there'll be a greater night out in the future. But it's Tom didn't want to do it last week. He probably won't want to do it again. Should we just keep the same group? Yeah. And then you go, oh, I'm now out of the loop. That's what I fear.
So you do have FOMO, but kind of like a prolonged FOMO, because it's not the FOMO of the night, but it's the FOMO of the consequences of not going to
That's exactly it. I don't know if it counts as FOMO. But that is my issue.
Fear of missing out for the future. What would that be? FOMO. Fear of missing out for FOMO.
Fear of future missing outs. FOFMO.
Yeah, something like that. FOFMO. Yeah, that's what you've got. You've got FOFMO.
I do. That is my biggest issue, is my FOFMO.
But, like, surely, right, if you've got good friends around you and good people, you don't have to worry about that. And, people understand why you said no, right?
Yes, they do.
So then why do you say,
it's easier to say it out loud, but in reality, it's hard to convince your brain that. And you don't want to find out if that is true. So you say yes.
Right. It's complicated thing, isn't it?
I say yes to everyone and I get double booked, and that's where the issue arises.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think it's more, I find it hard to say no to situations that are to do with like my career. So yesterday I had a situation where I had double booked myself by accident, but had only just realised that I double booked myself by accident. And it wasn't that I couldn't do it. So I agreed to do a work shift that would mean I finish at 2, but I had to
in the morning or afternoon?
In the morning, but I had to be back into work that morning at 7, which would mean I'd get home at 3 and have to wake up again at 5. So it's not that I couldn't do it. It's just that it would have. It's just that it would have been awful because I would have gotten 2 hours sleep and not been able to function. And it literally took all of my might to phone up my manager and say, I can't do the late night shift. Even though it's like it's understandable as to why you can't do it. Like, and I explained that to her. I was like, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have said yes to that. And do you know what her response was after I literally like hyped myself up about it?
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I literally hyped myself up about it. I was like, I'll text, and I was like, no, I should phone call because it looks bad. If I text and say no, then I look like a cop out and I look weak, so I'm just going to call. Like you have this like back and forth of like, how do you say no to someone? You make it into this massive ordeal. And then she was like, oh no, Anya, don't worry. Like that's actually my fault because, that's my job to make sure that you're not doing crazy shifts. And I was like, oh.
Like, damn right it is. Figure it out. But, you make it into like such a big deal when actually... it's affecting you more than it is affecting the person that you're saying no to. So although you're making it into an ordeal in your head, like, oh, if I say no, I'm letting them down, and like I feel so bad for cancelling on them, when actually they're probably just like, oh, it's fine, no big deal,
in most situations, you know? Like, if you don't turn up to that bar crawl, there's going to be 10 other people that do, and they'll miss you, but it's not the end of the world for them. Of course not. So
no. I think with work, it's also a very different thing. Like, holiday, no one takes their holiday because they don't want to miss out on an event further down the line. So if they take a week off in January, they might want that week instead at the latter end, let's say October. And so nobody uses their holiday until the last few weeks, and they're like, oh, I wish I did more stuff at the beginning of the year, sorry. So I think work is a difficult one because you also, for me, work drinks is a big thing. So I don't want to miss out on the work drinks because I want to be not necessarily seen as liked, but I want to know all the ins and outs of work. And I want people to go, oh, I love working with Tom. He goes out for drinks with me. And you build up that rapport. So that's what I would like to do. But then also having home friends and work friends and family events, and everything just builds up. And it's like, I can't do all of it. I struggle with prioritizing things.
Right, yeah.
That's in my head.
And I think that the word no has become so fashionable in like recent years. It's like all these books that have come out, like The Power of No and like self-help advice books, and it's almost like it shouldn't be a fashionable thing. Like, doesn't that just have like such a like telling moment on where we are as a society that saying no is fashionable?
God, Tom's so cool. He says no to all the events we invite him to.
But it's
what
true.
A winner.
Like,
it's not.
Saying no should not be fashionable. Like, when people are like, oh, I'm saying no, you know, to like set my boundaries. It should just be a necessity. Like, you're allowed to say no. It's like black or white. It's yes or no. It's your right to say that. And I think the fact that it's become fashionable and it's like coming back into fashion, like, oh, you know, I'm setting boundaries and I'm saying no. It's like, where were we like 5-10 years ago when we used to say yes? Like, that's why burnout culture has like become such a thing now, because we said yes, and now the word no is coming back into fashion. And it does make sense. I understand why it's happened, but I just think it's so sad that that's how people are reacting to the word no now. And I do understand it, but on the other hand, it's kind of like this shouldn't be a fashionable item to like say no. It should just be like a priority, like a human rights priority, that if you've got so much on, it's your right to say no.
Exactly. That I've taken this week off, so I've taken Wednesday to next Monday off.
Good for you.
Because I felt burnt out. But then the weirdest thing is when people ask you what you're doing, you're like, oh God, I got to lie and say I'm actually doing something fun instead of absolutely nothing. I just want to have some time away. Because how my past, let's say, 5 weekends since pubs have been able to reopen and you've been able to see more friends again, my whole weekends have been drinks on Saturday completely ruins your Sunday. Or drinks on Saturday, possibly more drinks on Sunday, feel like death on the Monday. So I feel like for the past 6-7 weeks I've had no downtime. It's just been like a constant, if I'm not busy at work, I'm busy getting drunk and seeing people, and I haven't had just a weekend of just relax. And from my calendar, this is going to make me sound like a big flex, from my calendar, my next few weekends are exactly the same as that. Just constant moving and seeing more people I haven't already seen, and this, that and the other, and people are having birthdays, how dare they? And then it's just like this constant moving and constant keeping up with people. And I think that's part of your early 20s life, is that you need that burnout. You need to keep chasing. You need to keep working hard. You need to seeing people before you settle down, have your life, have your kids, have your wife, possibly in the other order, but we're moving on. And because we're always chasing this dream or chasing the next step, you don't ever have a chance to just close off from the world. Ideally, this time off, it wasn't planned for me to go on holiday, but ideally a few days off in another country would be ideal. Just completely away from all the stresses of everything. Just take yourself away to possibly a beach. Beach would be nice.
Beach would be
and
nice.
Just absolutely relax and reflect on the positive things and the negative things and what you'd like to change.
Yeah.
But also just sit there and have no worries and no cares for 3 to 4 days. And that's what I'm taking this time off, is I just don't want to be working at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been such a big go. And over the past, I haven't taken time off really for the past year and a half because coronavirus stopped you from doing anything. I had nowhere to go if I took that time off. So I didn't take time off. I had my weekends, and my weekends were very boring because it was just me sat at home.
Mm-hmm.
But since places have reopened, it's just been very go. And I was just like, I need just a few days, sit back, say no to things, and just be at home and like mong out.
And do you feel like better that you said no to working and you said no to meeting other people?
100%.
And like, what gave you the confidence to like get to that place where you were like, nah, not anymore? Or was it just like literally you got to like the end of your tether and you were like, I physically cannot say yes to you?
So work, why I said no to work was I enjoy what I do. I really enjoy. I'm very blessed to work in a position that I like working with people I love to work with. But I just hit the point where I was like, I wake up in the morning and go, I don't want to go to work today. Just don't want to do it. And when you get into that mindset, it's like you need to take some time away and be like, what aren't you enjoying? Or is it because you're burnt out? Is it the job or is it your attitude to the job? Mm-hmm. And for me personally, it was probably a bit of both, but I thought just take some time off from work and focus on you, make sure you're okay, and then when you get back to work, there's that incentive to get back to work, which is like, I've been away for some time. I get to see the people that I used to work with and I enjoy working with.
Yeah.
Get back to the job that I enjoy doing.
It's kind of like hitting that reset button. Exactly.
And I think you need to do that. And that's what the weekend's meant to be for. But when your weekend is just filled of drinks, regret on the Sunday, and then you're like, oh, I've had no time to myself, and then you're back into work. Mm-hmm. That's where the issue arises, when you have no actual downtime.
Yeah. And you have to look after yourself. And saying no to things is a form of self-care. Because you can't be a yes man. You can't say yes to everything. Because then you're literally signing away what you want to do to somebody else's prerogatives and what they want to do. You know? And you're like, we always say this. You only have one life and it's your life and no one else is living your life for you. So stop saying yes to what other people want to do. Start saying no to them and start saying yes to what you want to do. And if your yes is saying no to them, then say no to them. And it's not a sign of weakness. I think there's so many reasons as to why it's so hard to say no to people. Some people say it's a sign of weakness. Other people say, you know, you don't want to let people down, saving face. You know, you might be afraid that you're looking like somebody who's being difficult. It's just like so hard to say no to people. But at the end of the day, if you're going to sit there and say yes to them, feel happy that you've saved face and you haven't looked weak and you haven't upset anyone, but resent the fact that you said yes to them and you have to go to this thing, you have to do this and this. I think that's like that gut feeling where you're like, okay, yeah, this is my time to like take back control, take back your power, and say no to them.
So the issue is, I don't like downtime. I think we've spoken about this in the past episodes, but I don't like it when I've got nothing going on. I haven't got anything to look forward to, and I haven't got anything to do. Mm-hmm. I don't like wasting my days, if you know what I mean. So if I don't have anything on and people go, oh, do you want to go for drinks? I always say yes, because I don't want to just do nothing. I don't want to waste my years. But in a way I am, all at the same time. I'm wasting it because I'm just getting drunk and throwing away money. But I hate just sitting in my room for 18 hours and then trying to go to bed because I haven't done anything on my day. But that's my conundrum.
I don't think that's not doing anything with your day. Maybe if you had a whole month of that would be excessive. But I think, you know, if you've been working so hard, or not even working hard, like you've just been so busy with social lives, or like say if you have kids or you've got to look after someone, if you've been swamped with other people, I think it's okay to have a day where you do nothing. And doing nothing is not nothing. Doing nothing is like, it's resting, and you need rest to recuperate, and you need rest to be able to grow and excel. Everyone needs a rest time. Like, even robots, even our laptops. You need to restart them sometimes. Sometimes that spinning wheel comes up, the spinning wheel of death, and you're like, for God's sake, like, can you not just pull yourself together? And it doesn't pull itself together, and you have to restart it. And that's exactly like humans. Sometimes you get to the end of a really stressful week, and you've got that little spinning wheel of like doom going on in your head where you literally can't function, and you have to go and put yourself to bed, or you have to have a day of rest. And that's not doing nothing. That is looking after yourself so that you can excel the next day. And I think everyone needs days like that where you say no to people and you do something that is going to help you.
Do you have friends that do the same thing every weekend? So like for me, the reason why I'm asking is my friends do the same thing every weekend, and it kind of drives me insane. So there's like, they go to like the local pub and they have their drinks and then they go home. The same place, same drinks every week. I'm like, oh guys, it's boring. That's why I started saying no to them, is because I'm spending the same £40 on the same beers and then taking the same tube home.
Yeah.
We're not mixing it up at any point. It's the same day in, day out, same thing. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I love the guys, but we're having the same conversations each week, getting more and more progressively drunk. And then even you hit that point where you start reflecting on other weekends that you've spent at the same pub, but the other same conversation you've had. You go, oh, do you remember when Tom said this? What an idiot. And you're like, we're rehashing the same conversations.
Yeah. Sorry. That was me. Sorry.
But you're having this... Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
You're having the same conversation and then you just don't want to do it. And I think that is the thing for me, is I'm a creature of change, not a creature of habit. And so if the same group of boys were like, hey, let's go to a cocktail bar in London, you go, yes, or let's all do this in Southampton, like, absolutely. But it's the same. Do you want to come to this pub down the road? You go, yes. Do you want to get this beer? Yes. And it's nothing changes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think...
It's a bit mundane.
You know, for whatever reason you want to say no to somebody, whether it's because you need some rest or whether it's because you're bored of the same repetitive nature, or I don't know, you just don't want to go and do that cat's bar mitzvah. Like, it's just not for you. You brought that up at the start.
What did you say?
The cat's bar mitzvah.
I heard cat's bum and I didn't know what that meant. I got really confused and I didn't want to bring it up because I think I almost certainly misheard.
Tom gave me the weirdest look and I had to stop it.
I was just like, what is she saying to me?
The cat's bar mitzvah, you brought it up at the start.
Yes, I did.
No matter what your reason for doing it, whether it's self-care, whether you want to like change up your life, or whether you just don't want to do it, simply you just cannot be effed. I think that, you know, you only live your life for you and you have to do what you think is right and what's going to make you the most happy in that situation. I mean, there's going to be some things like, I don't know, doing that like one work shift that you don't really want to do, but you know that if you do it, you know, you're going to meet new people and excel in different areas. You know, there's going to be situations like that, but for the majority of the time, I think you have to take the control into your hands and you have to be able to say no to people in order to live your own life, because it isn't their life, it's living for you. So stop letting people take your no's away from you, you know? No one's holding you accountable for saying no. Just say no, okay? They're your no's, you can say them. But
nice. Tom, I thought you started saying no's at the end.
Nose
that really confused me. My nose? Are you taking my nose away from me, Anya?
Got your nose.
Please don't. I need that for smelling stuff.
So, Tom, every week we ask the kids, the Tunesquaders.
There we go. You saved it.
On our Instagram at WeAreAudioBox, a would you rather question. And this week,
that's nice.
I asked them. Gotta get it up on my phone.
You asked them, you don't want to do something, but you're worried if you say no, it will let someone down. Would you rather A, say yes and save face, or B, stick W/your gut and say no?
Stick with your gut and say no.
Yes.
Yes, exactly that. So, Tom, what did you say?
I think it's very clear what I said.
You said...
I said save face.
Save face. And
Do whatever I can to save face.
I think I said save face as well. I'm an idiot. I changed mine. We had this conversation last week, didn't we? I always change my mind after speaking to you. I think it just rationalizes things in my brain a little bit, and I'm like,
I'm just so persuasive.
Well, or I'm so persuasive.
Let's not flatter yourself. Huh? Come on. Go on, we're right up to.
So
no.
You guys said, 37% of you guys said say yes and save face.
So the thing is, Anya is actually reading this from her phone. It's an actual poll that we put up, and it still sounds like a lie. They said 37% said say yes.
Does it sound like a lie? Look, if you go onto YouTube, you can.
She's gonna plug the YouTube thing. I've got to put it up this week.
Shall I say that again?
Yes.
Okay. So, 37% of you guys said say yes and say face. And 63% of you guys said stick with your gut and say no. And
That's wild.
I'm so proud of you guys. 63% of you guys have said say no. You know, you guys already know. You don't even need us to hype you up and, you know, give you a little pep talk on why you should say no. There you go. Yeah, so you guys don't even need us to tell you why you should say no. But for the 37% of you guys that are like, about saying no, which I know I definitely am a lot of the time, you know?
That is wild that people are better at saying no than me.
Yeah.
I just imagine I had the same mindset. I imagine everyone had the same mindset as me. Tune Squad, you're out of touch.
Not out of touch. They're just, you know...
Get back on board with the captain.
More confidence
in
themselves.
Saving faces. Oh, wow. That really shocked me. I thought more people would say save face.
Clearly not. There you go.
Like, guys, if you want me to go to the pub with you, all you have to do is say, Tom, you free this Saturday? And I'll go, yes or no. But if I say no, I'll say, but I'm free this other day. Every time. I need to learn to stop suggesting another future day.
Practice makes perfect, Tom.
Well, here's a bad story that we're going to finish the podcast on.
Go on.
Someone from work said we should go for drinks on Saturday, so this weekend. And I said, yeah. He asked me about 3 weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I should be free. Didn't write it down anywhere. Completely forgot about it. He, earlier this week, said, we still on for drinks on Saturday? And I went, yeah, send me the deets. And yeah, I should be free still. Oh, no, I forgot about it. And he hasn't brought it up again since and didn't send me the deets. So
you're going to blame it on him? Instead of just saying no to him, you're just going to
Well, I've already said yes!
Well, you can turn around and say no. You could be like, do you know what, dude? This actually doesn't work for me. You know, I'm just.
Do you know what, dude?
I
actually hate your face. It's a no.
I'm just sat at home right now. I just don't want to see anyone. I just want to look after myself. That should be normalised. We should be normalising these situations.
My thing is now, I'm booked off until Monday, so he's not going to see me. So he can't bring it up unless he texts me, and I'm like, absolutely, I'll be there.
Just say no. Look, okay,
it's
next
hard.
week I want to hear that you said no to somebody. Do it.
Well, fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Tom, you good to record this evening? No. Get wrecked. Oh, it's going to backfire on you, Anya. Oh, it's going to backfire on you. Hey, Tom, can you edit this one? No. Kapow. God, you're going to regret saying that.
Can't wait.
But thank you, Tunesquaders, for listening to another great episode of What Adults to Tell You Before You Were Adult. Anya, thank you very much for joining me. Join us again next week for another great episode where we'll be talking about something different, which if you want a little heads up on what's going to be, go to our Instagram where we put up a poll every week, getting your guys' engagement on what the discussion's going to be. We put up a poll and we want you to get involved. Also, if you want to DM us some ideas of things to talk about, our Instagram is weareaudiobox. Or you can message us on Twitter, same handle, weareaudiobox, and say what you want us to talk about in an upcoming episode. But thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week for another great episode.
Bye, kids.
Bye-bye.